Good morning, everybody. So it is 9:30 in the morning. I've been up since 7:30. I've already gone grocery shopping. Didn't need a lot. Just like blocks of cheese, some juice, stuff like that. Nothing too big. Spent like $50 there. Then I had to go to Ace Hardware because I needed more birdseed, and I also needed plant food that was high in nitrogen for my plants, because my green beans, the leaves are yellow, which means they need some nitrogen. And it rained yesterday, so the ground's soggy, everything's soggy, but I really needed to feed these plants. So I went ahead and I fed them. They'll be fine. But I don't know what we're gonna do outside today because the ground is soggy. We might do some stuff indoors. I know we've got to buy some things. I need to get a kettle panel and stuff, but I am going to give you a garden tour today, and we'll see where the day takes us, because this is the first weekend where I looked at the weekend and I was like, it's gonna rain on Friday. I'm not planning anything. So nothing is really planned. We're just gonna see where it takes us. I may just do a bunch of stuff indoors and just do a one-day vlog instead of a weekend, and just go from there. So I'm gonna drink my second cup of coffee, and I will see you in a bit. So this is something that is not one of my favorite chores to do because it just gets hair everywhere, but both of our dogs are dual coat, and when it comes to spring and summertime, she just sat on me. Their winter coats, it's all over the place. So I'm trying now to brush them out at least once a week, just get their winter coat out. And it takes a while to do. And also, they get sick of it after a while and they want to play. Sugar, this is Sugar. She's not so bad. Baby gets excited whenever it happens. As a matter of fact, she's out there in the yard looking at me like, ooh, it's gonna be playtime soon. Like, no, it's brushing your fur out soon. Of course, Sugar doesn't like to stay in one place either. Get that mud on your... And most of her fur that I get up is usually on the back side, like on her back. Wait. No, it's when they roll is when they're done, basically. They're like, we're done. Okay, get up, Sugar. 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 She's been laying in the mud. Don't touch me, dear buddy. Don't. Just don't. Just don't. Okay, come on, go. Hey, baby. Here, baby. Baby ain't having it. Baby, come on. Come on, baby. Nope, she's not having it. So I'm not going to force her. But a few moments, and that's how much fur I got off her. Just good. And I'll do it again this evening. Okay, so I'm sitting here thinking, what can I do outside? And what I can do is pull all the weeds up in this little walkway. What I would love to do eventually is get creeping thyme. If you've never seen it, you should Google it and put it in so that it actually goes around the rocks. I think that would be gorgeous. But I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling weeds. Baby's fox is right there, and the dogs next door have another dog, and they want to play with the dogs. That's what's going on. So this is before. This is done it once before. It's a headache to do, but I want to work outside, and that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so I've been working at this for an hour. I got all the way up to where the bird feeder is. My poor little fingers are hurting so bad, but I got a lot of it pulled up. There's some of it that I couldn't get pulled because they're too small, and it's really muddy, and everything's sticking to my garden gloves, but it looks a lot better. All the big grass is up. Kitty, I need to put my shoes on. Kitty, I need to put my shoes on. Alright, so garden tour. So these are new to the garden. I got them on Amazon, and they are working to keep birds away. And these poles are really sturdy. And I will put a link in the description below where I got them on Amazon. I got a 10-pack for $16, and I'm not using all 10 of them yet. But I thought I'd share that with you. Alright, so we're going to start in this bed. So my squash, I've been looking to see if there's squash bugs at all. There are not, I know of. I went to go use my neem just in case, and because look at this, it looks like a disease. I've got to research that. And it's solid. So I've got to either get it thawed out or get it to where it comes to liquid again or something. But I kind of wonder if I have squash bugs. Now the yellow is because of nitrogen, so I put some nitrogen in here for them. This is, what is this? Watermelon. And they're looking good. Some of them are starting to yellow. This is pumpkins. They haven't even germinated yet. I'm okay with that. Marigolds are just doing fine. This is more pumpkins. I mean, more watermelon. Then I have my cucumbers right there. And then my lettuce. My poor little lettuce. So it's starting to get a little bit bigger. You know, I've got a few of them down here, right in here. But they haven't grown exceptionally a lot, and I think it's because I've skipped a couple of weeks with food for them. Hopefully they start growing again. My lettuce, right there, right there, right there. They've germinated. They're just going to be growing, living their life. My kale. Now, as you can see, they're drying up, and I don't know why. This one looks good, though. I don't know why. There's one back there. Right there. It looks good. I'm going to be researching as to why they're doing that. Broccoli. I have 3 broccoli plants that have spread, or 4 actually. There's one back there. And they're doing good. I don't know what happened to this guy. I've been looking for bugs. I don't see any bugs on these, and I was researching it, and it said it needed nitrogen. That's why I went ahead and gave it some nitrogen. So those are my beans. So let's talk about the potatoes. Last weekend I filled these bags up to the brim, covered them all, and look at this. I mean, holy cow, just absolutely awesome. All right, these guys, I don't know. I think birds are eating them because they're just getting worse and worse and worse. This was, and I'm leaving them to see if anything happens. There are no bugs on them. I don't know. If you know what's going on with this is zinnias, let me know. Got some cosmos growing right there. Hopefully they'll grow. Alright, this is a weed. That's a big weed. I'll pull that later on. Oh look. Yay, maybe not pull it because there's a ladybug. So here is that, I think is a sunflower. Here's my other beans. This side hasn't germinated yet. This is spinach, and I think it's germinated. Well, I'm pretty sure it has. It's got growth. And then mustard. Mustard's doing basically the same thing kale's doing. It's right here. So I had a bigger one and it's starting to dry up. Hello, girl. My kitty's out. Leeks are living their life. They're doing good. In fact, I accidentally planted leeks along that back row and they're doing fine. Eggplant. My eggplant did the exact same thing that the kale and everything did. I have one growing and it just shriveled up and died. And I think it's the heat. That's what I'm thinking on that one. I'm not sure, but that's kind of disappointing. All right. I planted more broccoli and some of the seeds are starting to germinate in this little area right here. This is ground cherries and I have a few little seeds popping up around here, so that's good. And this was lettuce and I don't see anything germinating yet, but you know, take its time. This marigold's doing fine. We'll get over to that area in a second. These guys, these are my globes. They're doing great. Sweet peas are doing great. My snapdragon is doing great. More sweet peas doing great. All right, let's get over to the tomatoes. I want to move this bench kind of further that way so I can just walk through. So my tomatoes, they're growing. They're doing really good. My cherry tomatoes are doing good. So I've got yellow tomatoes on, no, I got green tomatoes on this side and Abe Lincoln tomatoes on that side, and they're all doing great. This is when I bust a cat, most likely, or not. Okay. And also, that is either bee balm or chamomile. I think that's chamomile, right there. Let's talk about peppers. As I said, these started popping up. I've got to do it again and see what it is, because I honestly think that my seed packet was wrong, and because these are onions. These are like type of onion. And I'm like, okay, but I do have, these are jalapenos. I do have jalapeno, little jalapeno buds coming up, which is good. And then these are habaneros, and they're coming up too, which makes me happy. Onions and carrots. These are my carrots. I know I have one definitely coming up. There's one over there too. There's another. And then my onions, they're all doing great. Just letting them live their life. These are gladiolas that I planted, and they're doing so good. Look at how much they've grown. My herbs, this is basil, this is lemon basil, and it's doing really good. This is Genevieve basil, and it's going. My rosemary is doing fine. The chives, oh my god, I just ran my fingers through the rosemary. That smells so good. The chives, they're doing great. And then my thyme, I don't know what it is. It hasn't germinated yet. I planted it a couple of times and just hasn't germinated. It's kind of like, I wonder if the seeds are bad. So I'm gonna plant those seeds in a seed container just to see if those seeds will actually germinate in that. This guy, the mint, is doing great. And then I'm going to show you this. I talked about last week how there is a lot of growth in this little area. This and this is calla lilies. This is garlic. And I got to get that bulb up because that is not garlic, but that's garlic, and my garlic is doing great. I'm just waiting for the leaves to start As you can see, they're starting to die off. I gotta wait till half of them die and then we'll be good. Rose bush is doing good. It's starting to sprout little buds. There's a lot of new growth on there. Okay, so in here, those are sweet peas right there. I think these are these big flowers. I believe they are zinnias because I kind of just like spread it all around. These I believe are either chamomile or they are bee balms. Those are cosmos. Not sure what that is. I mean, there's just a lot of new growth. I gotta come out here with my phone to figure out what is what so I can pull weeds. But I mean, there's a lot of green in here. I cannot wait until midsummer to see the flowers bloom. All right, I'm gonna take you over there. All right, over here, as you can see, the gladiolas are going. My raspberry bushel is looking really good. Zinnias are looking good. Blackberry bush is looking good. More gladiolas. I saw them earlier today somewhere. I don't know what happened to my hydrangea plant. Oh, here it is. It's right here. I don't know. We're just letting it go. Dogs got a hold of it. I'm hoping it lives. This guy. Cannot wait. Actually beautiful. And then we're going to just walk back here to the wild garden. The garden that we didn't do anything with. So I can show you. Because there is a lot of new growth with this. You know, the bluebonnets are still doing good. I mean, look at this. Now we got yellow irises popping up. So James has to mow back here, but we're going to just let it go and see what all grows in here. And I may be pulling like things up. I'm wondering if I can pull this bush up because I like this bush, these flowers, and try to transport them someplace else. But we're seeing what grows in here. All right, can we just take a moment and just, oh, I love this. I can't wait for it to start filling out even more. But look at this. I absolutely love it. Haciendas are starting to become a favorite plant of mine. I love that color. Those right there are actually my goat beards. And my yesterday, today, and tomorrow hasn't started budding yet again, but it will soon. I'm not worried about it. I see new growth on it. Looks good. I'm okay with it. Strawberries. Strawberries are doing pretty good. And we've got some popping up. Just waiting for them to be able to harvest. There's another one starting to turn red. This tomato plant, this is the yellow pear tomato. My cherry hasn't even germinated. I'm thinking about replanting that. Aloe vera is doing great. This hydrangea is still just a stick. Hasn't really started blooming, and someone said it'll probably take 2 years for it to start really getting a mass and start blooming. My lavender is starting to come up. Excited about that. I think these are sweet peas. Look at that. These are chrysanthemums. They're called golden ball, and then a galindria. I think that's how you say it. The citronella is doing good, and the ivy has new growth on it. And there's something growing in the pot. I don't know what that is, but that is the garden tour this week. Oh, and I do want to show you. Look at these pecan trees. They are looking great. So I'm just having to be patient with stuff as they grow. I just want things to be really big and lush and beautiful, like that wild garden area. But then I have to think, the family that lived here before lived here for I think 12 years, and she was a very big gardener. So these gardens, I mean, her flower beds are probably close to 5-6 years old, which means they're very established. So in 5 or 6 years, I'm hoping that's what my bed looks like. Although looking at it from here, it just looks like a mess. I'm like, holy crap, that's such a mess. But I think once we mow, it'll look a lot better. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning, and not much happened after I last talked to you. I mean, we sat around and watched movies and stuff. So I'm in the kitchen. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I've been up for a while, and I cleaned the kitchen, and I put the roast on for tonight, and I'm getting ready to start some Poshmark pictures. Some more. I'm trying to get at least 10 pictures done today so that I can post them throughout the week. If you hear all that noise, it's like my coffee maker is brewing, my dishwasher's going, which we only do our dishwasher twice like every other day. So tonight is going to be the exception of the rule, because I'm going to be cleaning out the fridge tonight, because I'm going to need the crock pot for tomorrow. Because tomorrow we're heading into Dallas, and we're going to be, I've got a dentist appointment, but we're going to be gone all day, so I'm going to go ahead and put stuff in the crock pot for tomorrow, tonight, and then we just pop in the crock pot and go. Alright, so as I said, trying to take 10 pictures of things. I've got to clean them, clean some of them up, and then take the pictures, and we'll be good to go. And here's some of them. So this light I bought for James's birthday a few years ago. He never uses it. It's like if you ever play Fallout, that's the type of lamp. I've got to clean it up. This glass Lazy Susan was my mom's, and I have never used it. I'm not going to, so I'm going to go ahead and set it up. I'm going to sell that. Selling these are for Francoma. I'm going to sell them as a set. I'm going to clean those, and then my aunt gave me this, and I have another one I'm going to get rid of. I'm going to go ahead and sell. Not get rid of, I'm going to sell. So that's that right now. And then I have some jewelry. But I'm going to clean these, get these all set up, take these pictures. So I got those 5 pictures taken. I'm going to be taking the other 5 later on today. It's going to be jewelry. Now I'm going to go and feed my roses. Oh my God, it is such a beautiful day out. Absolutely gorgeous. I gotta put my shoes on in a second, but I'm in my PJs too. So, what I feed my roses is, I need to get this out because this went solid and I need to make it back to liquid, so I gotta put it in some warm water. I use this, and I feed my roses this Miracle Grow rose plant food. And I haven't had an issue with it at all. It actually, my rose bush last year was just budding and budding and budding, and I lost it in the freeze. So one of this small thing is going to feed both roses. But I'll show you something on one of the rose bushes whenever I try to do this every day. Sometimes during the work week I don't get to it, but I try to come out and look at all my plants early in the morning, and then right before the sun sets. And I'm just like, oh. But let's go back here to this rose. And it's still a bit wet, but I'm just going to, hello little guy. I'm just going to water at the root, and look, we've got some buds starting on it. Today I'm going to cut this tree right here down. I've been talking about doing it all week, but it hasn't happened. Alright, we're gonna go over to this rose bush. And this is the one I wanted to show you. Remember, it was budding, had plant buds. But I noticed last night whenever I came out, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then there's another one down here. Cannot wait. And I have a whole bunch of them budding up. So we're going to go ahead and give this food. I'm so excited about this rose bush. Now it is looking a little flat, which is okay. It'll eventually just, you know, spread out and go high and everything. So I'm going to put this neem oil where it needs to go. I'm gonna drink my coffee, and I'm probably gonna sit out here and just enjoy the nice morning. Actually, coffee is going to wait a few moments because it's on my list to do. There's two things. We have to pull shirts, James's old concert shirts, out of the bin that's in the shed, and we got to pick out 25 concert shirts, which I think he has just that. We have someone making a quilt for it. And then these glasses, Abby has the whole dinner set to it. So I'm gonna pack these away this evening, and while we're in Dallas, I'm going to give them to her so that she can go ahead and have the full set, because we don't even use these glasses. When we moved in, so that cleared up a lot of space. Moved in, these glasses were here, and we actually like these glasses. So those are gonna go to Abby. Okay. Clothes are in the dryer. James said a few weeks ago when he was washing his clothes, because he washes his own clothes, he's always done that, and he wants to do it, so I'm like, okay, go ahead. He said, it's funny, I'm pulling out nothing but PJs and boxers and some socks, all he washes. And I was like, yeah, that's how it was for me too, up until about 3 weeks ago when I started making myself get dressed in the morning. Now I'm still in my PJs, but I will be getting dressed shortly because I feel like I'm more motivated. I mean, it's really easy to fall into wearing nothing but PJs around the house because you don't go anywhere. But at the same time, it just makes it to where you're lazy, or for me, it makes it to where I just feel lazy for the rest of the day. So I'm all nice and comfy and don't want to do anything. So whenever I was pulling clothes out from the washer to the dryer, I was like, wow, there's only 2 PJs and the rest are all like normal clothes. Pretty proud of myself. So I got that done. I also fed all of my indoor plants some food, because I had this really beautiful hanging plant and I hung it on the edge of this of the deck, and it was before the trees started budding and everything, and it was supposed to be a shaded plant and it burned all the leaves except for a few, so I'm nursing it back to health. Oh my god, it looks horrible, but there's so much new growth on it that I'm hoping by the end of summer it's back to the way it was. And then I went ahead, I didn't feed that fern that I'm trying to nurse back to health. I fed that this morning, and I went out to my garden just to look, and I used my trusty little app that is very accurate because I've taken pictures of things that I know what it is, and it pops up that it is that. And I took a picture of those things that were growing in my pepper thing, and I'm like, it says it's an onion. Well, I took a picture now that's grown more, and it's like, no, it's a weed. So I pulled those. Yeah. Ain't that awesome? But my green beans that I planted the other day, are not green beans, they're actually dragon tongue beans. They're starting to sprout. They're popping up out of the ground. I'm like, oh, hello little guys. So I'm pretty excited about that. I had a dream last night that I came out to my garden and there was a whole bunch of chamomile. So when I woke up this morning, it's like, no, not yet. So, but I found that my cosmos are doing great. a lot of the stuff out in that flower bed I've identified and I'm pretty happy with. So, you know, zinnias, cosmos, there's a lot of stuff happening out there. So I'm still drinking my cup of coffee. I'm just like every now and then getting up and moving around. I have not cut that tree down by the rose bush that I want to cut down, mainly because I'm lazy. Because, see where Mickey's at? Well, in order to keep the shed closed, we have to keep that concrete thing there. And yes, it doesn't weigh, I mean, it weighs like maybe 5 pounds, but it's still a hassle to get in and out, especially with the cats, because then you have to run them out of the shed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a little bit, I'll get dressed, and then I'll do it. It's pretty, once I get it done, it'll be pretty easy. And then I've got to wrap Abby's glasses. But I also figured since we're pulling shirts out of there, I'll just wait until it's open for the shirts, and then I'll do it. Okay guys, so the game that we were playing just finished up. It's after 7:12 right now. It didn't start until like at 2:30, 3 o'clock. So it went a little bit later than expected, but we got the shirts out. James is about to go through them. And I am going to go ahead and fix our dinner, which is roast. And I'm going to close out this vlog. As you noticed, not a lot happened this weekend. Some weekends you have it, some weekends you don't. But hopefully next weekend it'll be a little bit better. Alright, I will see you soon, and if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up.